I have another game for you. This one between Hans Moke Newman and Tin Jingyao. Hans Moke Newman, you probably know of, unless you've been living under a rock. He's been kind of in the limelight for an unfortunate reason. Magnus Carlsen, of course, and chess.com kind of accusing him of cheating, although they have basically no evidence to corroborate that. In fact, Hans Moke Niemann is suing Magnus Carlsen, chess.com, and yeah, Magnus Carlsen's companies for what is it? Defamation. Basically, he's saying that they're ruining his career. You know, this is his life, chess, and you know he's been prevented from going to tournaments and stuff like that because of these allegations of cheating. You can see he was born in 2003, so he was 19. This game was just played. If you look, it was just played a couple weeks ago in Spain, and he's playing against Jingyao. And you can see, well, so Hans is ranked number 41 in the world currently with a rating of almost 2,700, so almost a super grand master. And then Tin is rated number 339 in the world, so still one of the top players in the world. Tin just got his grandmaster rating this year, and I think Niemann actually got it a couple years ago. No, he got it last year. So yeah, Hans just got his grandmaster rating a year ago and is already at 2,700. So you know he has made a pretty substantial raise in rating. So that's probably part of the reason that people are suspicious. But he could just be playing great chess. Tin is from Singapore, and yeah, he just got his grandmaster rating, but has been improving rapidly as well. So both of these guys just chess prodigies. But let's go ahead and get right into the game. Hans from the United States, he starts with pawn to c4. And we have pawn to c6, kind of a Caro-Kann by Tin. And then we have pawn to d4 by Niemann. And now pawn to d5. Now, Caro-Kann actually is a response to e5. So this is more of a Slav defense here. So this is called the Slav defense. So we have pawn to d5 by the Singaporean grandmaster. And now knight to f3 by Niemann. And knight to c6, or excuse me, knight to f6 by Black. And now pawn to e3. And these are all book moves. This is the stuff you play if you're playing in a grandmaster tournament. We now have bishop to f5 by Niemann. Now we have knight to c3 by the American, and pawn to e6 by Black. And again, still all book moves. Even this one here, we have knight to h4. Knights on the rim or grim, but this is obviously targeting the bishop here, so it does make sense, and it is a book move. We have bishop to e4 by Tin, and now pawn to f3 by White. Bishop back now to g6, and now we have queen to b3 by Hans. Tin now plays queen to c7. And these are all like the best moves in the position or top one or two. So, you know, we have allegations of cheating against Hans Moke Niemann. So, I mean, he's playing like a computer right now, but so is Tin. So they're both playing absolute top first or second engine moves every time. But they probably have this all memorized. They've probably played this before. They've studied games where people have played these openings. So anyway, we have White playing bishop to d2, the best move in the position. And Tin now plays one of the best moves in the position, bishop to e7. We have pawn captures on d5. And this is technically an inaccuracy, so definitely not the best move. Strangely enough, the engine recommends castling to the queen side here. I say strangely because it's, I don't know, it's not ideal to have your king castling to a partial open file, but that's, again, that's the bestest move. That's the best move in the position. We'll continue. We have knight now capturing on d5. We have knight capturing on g6. This is the best move in the position by Hans. And now pawn captures on h6. And so far, every move that Tin has made has been perfect. I mean, flawless. And yeah, as you saw, Hans has made a slight error, although yeah, everything is pretty much equal at this point. We now have castles queen size by Hans, and now knight captures on c3 by Tin, and now bishop captures on c3 by Hans. Now pawn to h5. Again, the best move in the position, although this has never been played before. So it is as of this move, move 13, that we have a brand new game. Nobody's ever been in this position before in recorded play. So again, so Tin plays the best move in the position, but it's not been played before. You know, he's trying to go after the king's castle, just, you know, starting his attack here. Hans makes another slight error. It's called an inaccuracy. He plays pawn to a3. Engine saying that queen to c2 would have been a better move here, but we're going to go ahead and continue. And now we have the best move in the position again by Tin, pawn to b5. So Tin playing like Stockfish, basically. Stockfish is liking everything that he's doing, saying it's perfect play. And now we have bishop back to d2 by Hans, and this is definitely a strong move in the position, one of the strongest. And again, we have the best move in the position by Tin. He plays pawn to a4, attacking the queen, so of course she's got to reposition. Hans plays queen to c3, and again, this is called an inaccuracy, so not the best move. The computer would prefer that he moved to c2 instead, but it's just an inaccuracy, so we're going to go ahead and continue. And now we have the first kind of mistake, according to Stockfish, from Tin. Tin plays queen to b6. The computer suggesting that knight to a6 would have been a better move to start off here, with later playing this move, but first playing knight to a6. But we're going to continue. We now have king to b1. This is called a mistake by Stockfish. And Stockfish saying he should go ahead instead and play pawn to h4. That would have been a better way to play this position, but we're going to go ahead and continue now. We now have castles kingside by Tin, and now pawn to h4, the best move in the position. So Hans does find the best move. You know, this move was suggested earlier. It just took him an extra move to do it. He wanted to get his king safe first, I think. So this makes good sense. Both players playing extraordinary chess at this point. And now we do see knight to a6 by Tin. And we have queen now back to c2 by the American. And now the best move in the position by Tin once again. He plays pawn to b4, trying to tear open the castle. And we have bishop takes knight. This is the best move that Hans can play. So you could say that's a computer move if he's got some sort of cheating device. Which I don't think he does. As you saw, he has made mistakes. He's not playing absolutely perfect chess. If anybody's playing perfect chess, it's actually Tin. He's playing fantastic chess here. We now have rook captures on a6. Rook captures bishop. This is the best move in the position. And Hans now plays the best move in the position. He plays a captures on b4, taking that pawn. And again, the best move in the position. Bishop captures on b4. And now we have definitely a solid move here by Hans. He plays pawn to a5, or h5, excuse me. Although, you know, bishop captures bishop would be another strong move in the position. Either move, though, is okay. We now have bishop captures on d2 by Tin. And yeah, this is a mistake. He could have done better just by going ahead and pushing the pawn. But we will go ahead and continue. We now have rook captures, the best way to capture here. So rook captures on d2, rook captures bishop, and now we have pawn to a3. Now, definitely a strong move. And Hans plays the only reasonable move in the position. He plays pawn to b3. This is definitely the best move. And now the best move played by Tin, pawn to a2. And of course, yeah, you've got to move the king to a1 here. Really no other reasonable moves to be played here. And now we have the best move by Tin again, rook to a3. Just incredible chess that Tin is playing. And now we have rook to d3. Rook to d3, and this is again the best move that can be played in the position. And now we have pawn captures on h5. Definitely a strong move there. And now rook captures is the best move for white. And now we have the best move for black, rook to b8, just really pressuring the king's castle there. And now Hans plays the best move possible. He plays rook to c5. And we now have rook captures pawn on b3. Nothing could have been done to save that pawn. So rook captures pawn on b3 is the best move in the position. Rook captures rook. You could have captured with the queen also, would have been fine. So rook captures rook on b3. We now have queen captures rook on b3, best move. And queen now captures queen. This is the best move for white. And of course, rook captures queen is the best move for 10. And now Hans plays the strongest move in the position once again. He plays pawn to e4. And now we have rook to d3 by 10. And Hans goes ahead and grabs the c6 pawn. And 10 grabs the d4 pawn. Rook captures pawn. And now we have rook back to c2. Definitely one of the strongest moves in the position, although you could maybe play the checking move first. That would also be interesting. And now we have pawn to g5 by 10. And Hans goes ahead and grabs this once hopeful pawn. So king captures on a2. And now king to g7. So this is an endgame. You got to get those kings activated. So king to g7, strongest move in the position. King to b3 by Hans. King to f6 by 10. And now king to c3, the best move in the position, attacking the rook. But 10 responds with the best move in the position again, just defending with the king, getting those kings activated. We have rook to a2 by Hans, and now rook drops down to d1 by 10. And now rook to a7 by white. Pawn to f5, strongest move in the position by 10. We have rook to a5 being called an inaccuracy, or being called a mistake, saying this is not the best way to play. He should have instead captured the pawn, but we're going to go ahead and continue. We have king now to f4. This is the best move. And now pawn captures on f5 now. So e captures f5. We have e captures f5 for black. This is, obviously the best move. And now we have rook to a4 by white. And king to e3 by 10. Rook back to a5, best move in the position, just pressuring that pawn. And now we have pawn to g4. This is the best move in the position for black. We have rook captures on f5. Again, the best move in the position for white. And now pawn to g3. This is the best move for 10. And now Hans actually blunders here and plays pawn to f4. He plays pawn to f4, but that is a blunder, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what he should have done instead. So instead of pushing the pawn, he should have played rook to a5. Then we would have rook to d3 by black, king to c4 by white, rook back to d2, rook to a3 by white, king to f2. King now attacks the rook by moving king to c3, rook to e2, now king to d4, and king captures pawn on g2. And this would have been a better way to play, although black would still be winning in this position. But let's go ahead and go back to what actually happened in the game. So as we saw, Hans blunders and plays pawn to f4. Now we have the best move in the position by 10. He plays king to f2. Now we have the best move by Hans. He plays rook to g5. We have king captures now on g2, taking the pawn. And now pawn to f5 by Hans. Best move he could play. We have rook to d5, best move once again by black. And now king to c4, also the strongest move in the position, and the strongest move played by black now, rook to a5. These guys just playing stellar moves over and over again. We have king to d3 now by white, and now king to f3 by 10. We now have king to d4, pawn to g2 by 10. King now to c4. And I'm not sure why that's not considered a blunder, but yeah, he probably should have got off of this file. He should have got off of the fourth rank because of this next move here. Tin plays this move here, and actually Hans Moke Niemann, probably the most scandalous chess player, he does resign the game. So Tin from Singapore, the Grandmaster from Singapore, he wins this one. Yeah, and maybe it's not obvious why, but the issue is interference. So, this is check. It doesn't matter where he moves. If he moves here, you're just going to play rook here, and there's going to be a new queen. Nothing that can be done. Yeah, not sure. I mean, I think the best move you can play is just to trade rooks, and of course, you're going to get a queen. There's nothing that can be done here. I guess, I don't know, you could maybe play something like this, but still, yeah, rook captures rook, pawn captures, and then queen. And obviously that's hopeless. So that is why Hans Moke Niemann did resign this game. So Tin, he wins this game. So he beats, the 41st ranked person in the world. I mean, Hans is a super grandmaster, so this is an impressive victory. He won playing the black pieces. And he actually played a nearly flawless game. Tin's game was 96.6% accuracy. That's on the scale of Magnus Carlsen and Ding Liren, two of the top players in the world. So yeah, what a game. Anyway, thank you for joining me for that. Please like and subscribe, as I will be posting game reviews every day. Yeah, you might want to join me for classes. I teach group and individual classes. You can check that out on Patreon. I have a link in the description. But yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.